El profesor. Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening with us right here. It's on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, like Republic Radio and Lpr-Tv. This is your program, All Things Considered, airing right here, right now. Okay, let's stop this music and have a conversation. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Zé of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's give recognition to our high committed folks here. My man Morgans is watching religiously. He's our strong friend who believes in the right of the people. He's not one of those who sanction voices. Mr. Morgan, good evening. To welcome. Your commitment to this network cannot be overemphasized. Moses is in the building. Frank Porter, Dal Mori, Kaba Sangari. Hopefully I'm doing it. And my man Kennedy from neighboring to Massachusetts. The liberal are going nuts. They allowed this guy, Cuckoo Head Man, to do whatever he appointing his loyalists now because he wants to get his agenda pushed. Mr. Kennedy, Frank called to Wowo Kennedy, good evening, welcome. Ellis Vitold, King Man is here, and of course, my own man, Victor U.J. Morgan, there, New Jersey, that is the Garden City. My man, I think I got to come for some pepper around there. McCarthy is here. Joyce, good evening. And my own sister from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Anna Inawe is in the building. Bezima, Benelli, George, Nire, of course, the liberal Daha, who was now converted to the independent wing of this network. Fatu, thank you so much for making a strong decision, allies, abandon the liberals, abandon Jerry Bacon, and all of the Tabata, abandon the and come to the House of Freedom. Former Sharif is here. Alvin T. Pennant. Hey, but since I believe Pennant, since the election, we haven't heard anything. Here come the liberal man, Clarence Davis. They are the liberal fan. These are the people, the liberal always try to get them to come and cause problem on this network here. But I thank you so much, Davis. We always hear it, and that's a good thing, the importance of us being here. The civility maintained on this network is highly, highly appreciated. And we want to make sure that is done to respect all views and opinion, despite our different political differences. And this is why you are here and we are here always, at all times, time conscious. This is your informative news magazine. All things considered. Welcome to the show. Time is fast spent. I am your lead host and anchor presenter to Francis and Soul to the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. When I on the liberal and his folks, they can be panicking because they know they're going to have a nightmare. The Tapata try to be the fixer to fix what can be fixed. The doors are good, and for no reason they unscrew those doors. Now they are finding it difficult to seal those doors because of their own creation, their own doing. A lot of developing story. We're getting some hints of the visits of the ECOWAS delegation. At the same time, they are standing at a land. Those informations yet to be verified and authenticated, but we do believe those information that are coming in. What? To put it into context and have this conversation here tonight. We have a wing on this network, which is the Washington wing, led by the liberal progressive and his ally, Jerry Washington Bacon. They're always here. And we make sure that they are here because they were in the vanguard. So we're not allowed them to slide back. The media did not do well for herself and to the Liberian electors by not opening the feed to have these proportionate conversations and make sure Liberians given the authority to look at all sides in the interest in the political process of Liberia. Media empire ran with it and did everything they could do. Okay, I get you. I'm going to do it right now. And they decided to do what it did. So guys, bear with me. Just hit the share icon to invite someone at your company. I'm quite sure we're going to have a fascinating conversation here this evening. Let's take this quick commercial break. And there are some really good news we are working on, and hopefully it's coming to a fruition. But let me take a break as I try to get something done here quickly. I am Alfonso Zienso, your presenter, and Lee Angle, right here this evening. I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business. Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
That's the lover boy. Okay, good evening. Good evening. We want to welcome to all our viewers and listeners. Mr. Bakan, if you're ready, just signal me, and I'm going to get you right here this evening. Don't get frightened. I mean, you should get used to it at this point in time. All right. So, if you're ready, just let me know because I'm not seeing you. Chairman Latrobe, the link is already out there as well to the rest of the analysts. We're going to be having a good evening. Good evening. Welcome. This is All Things Considered, and I'm of your host here. Unfortunately, I left my line somewhere. I'm not sure what I can use Jerry back on because I think that's the ugly thing I've done here tonight. But notwithstanding, if no way to just place a call, just send your tweet, your comments online. We will make sure that those comments are read. DJ Welcome Power, my man from San Diego, California. Good evening. Good to have you here. And if this is your first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio. Let's watch this cassette of some of our sister network in Liberia. I don't know whether that was what you call some gas, person in gas. But let's see here.
Pepper spray is suffocating the lawmakers. Pepper spray was used here.
So, oh, you know, the cause of freedom is not a. Oh my goodness, the cause of freedom is heavy. This is crazy. Okay, gentlemen, Chairman Latrobe, if you can elevate your camera a little bit, Chairman Latrobe, I want them to. Is it possible you can have it in the landscape form, something that I should throw you in the bag to get it fixed? And okay, you can do it. Your title card. There you go. You see? Now, ask Jared Washington to do it. That it's going to be another hell on earth. We're going to argue. You're going to be doing this, Mr. Washington. You want to do the same thing that is possible? What Mr. Chairman Latrobe did?
Oh, it worked.
Not do you anything. It doesn't mean you're now a supporter of Joseph Boycott.
Hey, man, the thing, all right. Don't give me a hard time, man. I'm okay.
If
you can see me, if you can see me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I get complaint from my folks, then I will let you go because
okay, no problem. No problem.
You want to tell them maybe nice, no problem. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome. This is All Things Considered as usual. Wednesday, Chairman Latro, good to have you here.
Yes, sir.
I know too much of work ongoing. You're not a busy man here. You're sort of power breaker in the ocean state here. So we do understand a lot going on, preparation going. Mr. Jerry Bacon, good evening. Good to have you here. Thank you for all that you do, not just only for this network, for the community, even though sometimes, most time, you are ridiculous, like your God, the liberal progressive. But we do understand politicians, their surrogate, their supporters, that's their job. That's what you are paid to do. So we fully understand that you have to do your work in order to get your paycheck. I'm not saying you are getting the paycheck, but I'm just telling you thank you for what you do and for sharing all of your time here with us. Okay, gentlemen, today is Wednesday. All things. Who are those guys that were just coughing like little nanny goats and things there? Where were they?
Where?
You
They were
mean
in the
that
chamber. They were in the chamber.
In the chamber.
So who
Don't pretend, yeah, my man.
who cares ginger spray?
Oh, yeah.
Bucket.
You're the red wing. You're the red wing. You're carry. That's all.
That spray was not strong enough.
But
Because
why would you always want to do this? Why would you throw the rod, then you hide your hand?
who I did it. I'm just saying
Okay.
this story. I just been real. You see, that's the difference with me and you guy. And Chairman Latroya knows that he's a military guy. Don't real spray when they put it on. You just somebody be sitting down there. You say, you can't say you were moved.
I know.
I remember 1986, a student, some demonstration. That was the date of Samuel Doe. We jumped in the street. By the time we load those guys came from Somalia driveway. Now is whatever boulevard, whatever. They kind of enclave us. My goodness. So the rotten, those guys, they brought those cow gut or whatever. One rotten almost 10 whatever feet. They can stay anywhere when they stress it like this. People maroon wear uniform when this type here. Yeah, well, I went to my old man down. She was saying, I said, "Oh my, you gotta get me close. Let me take her." He said, "No, you're the one full of trouble in there. I told me how you're full. I spoke. I said, yeah, you and I give you anything." I said, "Oh, if you don't do it, then the family line call out today." But anyway, guys, good to have you here. Good evening. A lot is unfolding in our country, and it is important that we have this conversation. And we also know there will be some people here who will try to reconstruct this conversation to suit the political vampires, their political godfathers, which is okay, but we got to call them out. But okay, let's get a conversation. All things considered, I don't want to be the one to impose here. Mr. Bacon.
Yes, sir.
What is a burning issue? Too much ongoing here. We're getting some information relative to the ECOWAS delegation, and we are hearing it yet to be confirmed. No any government officials, nobody has confirmed them. The pressure seems to be mounting on Councillor Fanatic Kofa. However, they are also sending a caveat. If this works and another group comes out to say, will that same method be applied? That is the sticking point at this point in time, and people are holding their breath because Kofa is saying he's not refusing, or he's saying he's arguing on the side of the law to say the magic number, the number 45 per the rules, it has to be applied. He's not refusing. And I believe and strongly support of the law, because when we begin to circumvent the law for political purposes, is dangerous, and that's not something we should condone. I'm just trying to lay the ground here. But let's hear you, Mr. Jerry Bacon.
Well, thank you for having me. Although unfortunately I'm not home, I'm somewhere else. So as you can see to the background,
this is one of the reasons. Yeah, hold on. This is one of the reasons, Mr. Latro. When
Yes,
he
sir.
and his liberal, when they are on and they're ready for their tabata, He would never be elsewhere. But when he comes on my program, then he's somewhere and try to give millions excuses. So
Well,
you know what? Moving forward, every Wednesday now I'll call you somewhere.
because of your behavior, I don't have to show my location because I know who you are. So for that reason, when the Libra is on, I can be somewhere that I speak. But when you are on, I have no show. I only have to show to disclose my location. But however,
Go ahead.
thanks for having me.
He's at the Capitol.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for our radio listener. Thank you for one of our panelists, young, energetic leadership of the Rhode Island chapter. So welcome. I know periodically you make an appearance, so welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
But here's the thing I've been thinking about for the past 2 days, or maybe 3 days, the fiasco about the how you call it, ECOWAS, the so-called ECOWAS committees that are coming to Liberia. I think we have a discussion the other day. You know, my mother said something to me when I was little. Somebody tried to rip her off about money, and she was mad. And the letter the president wrote for her, or the president credited from her, but the letter was written in a different form. So, yeah. So, and she realized that she was ripped off, and she got mad. So it was smart, and she said, "You know what? I will send my children to school, and nobody gonna rip them off." So she did everything. She saw Pamlet. She said everything possible for us to be where we are today. So here's my point I want to make. If you're not exposed to something, it is, I mean, sometimes it's not difficult, but because you don't know it, so it's difficult. And this is the thing we are going on in Liberia right now. ECOWAS, security, what is it, the former Solicitor General, what is his name, the former Judge, Judge Sabina call his name for me.
Oh, Kabina Jana?
Kabina Jana, okay. I mean, he spoke something very eloquent the other day. It is important to our national security. And we shouldn't take it lightly. And I think my brother will bear with me. Security is important. Every institution, every country in the world, where there's a where there's law, there's peace. If we have law in our country, that's barbaric. And let me go a little bit farther. The coup or what happened in that brought the civil war in our country. Awful Bonnie's son-in-law died in the coup. A.B. Talbot. In fact, A.B. Talbot survived, but they killed him later. And for that reason, all the political leaders, not political leaders, all the rebel leaders, all that brought war, all the warring factors, they came through the way of Ivory Coast to come to Liberia. Here we are. Here we are. Hear me well. And Leslie, is a Guinean from Liberia? What is your Mandingo man from in Liberia, or what are Mandingo men from Guinea? Or we are all one. We got Pele in Guinea, we got Mandingo in Guinea, we got Cry in Guinea, we got I mean all the different tribes are in Liberia. Also some system in Guinea. And this is concerning. As he said, he's a renowned lawyer, not just ordinary person in Liberia. He's one of our best in our place in Liberia. And he allegedly said that his client was taken after the court had ordered that they should bring him to the court. And he alleged that the Attorney General, who is it? Not Attorney General, the Inspector General, who is the Chief of Police, or the second or third man in law enforcement in our country, allegedly went to the prison and took him from there. Yeah, what my point I'm going to do the analysis. the Mandingo tribes in Liberia, they are fair that they are being marginalized or they are not given due process in our country. So it's something worrisome. And I think we need to address that issue as soon as possible, expeditiously, especially within our community. I mean, there's most to say.
Okay. So this is you are not on a safe ground this evening. When a liberal is on, then your safety is guaranteed. So whatever you try to
Well,
do,
if you want to if you want to throw me under the bus, that's fine. You want to carry me on the how you call it on Broad Street and give me public flotation, that's fine. What you want to carry me? You want to carry me downtown? You want to carry me downtown Providence?
that sort of fake nice you think you want to play here, it's not going to work with me here. And we got expeditiously. Who should get who? We should be demanding that answer expeditiously from you. Don't can't be. That's hypocrisy. It's your guy in charge. The court system is under your watch. So we should be the one to be asking these questions. Don't flip the coins around. So you better tell me why it happens in such a modern democratic country that somebody allegedly, as alluded by the judge before I go to the electoral, maybe it has happened somewhere else, you to tell us that they have gone. We are not in the days of PRC. We are not in the day when Ganga Taylor was to, how do you call it, Watanga base or whatever. Prince Johnson were to Kawe, where some of us went there by the grace of God. We were delivered. We're not at across the bridge, Bounty Hill, where Roosevelt Johnson, Alhaji Kroma, the other guys. No era has gone. We went through those terror. We yet to be you. Here we are, a government that was constitutionally elected by the people, and here we're saying the military is junta. These things, there are processes involved, but we want to see what happens tomorrow. If his honor is saying, but he's representing his client, and by the way, he's a good friend to you guys. But now he's being perceived as the bad guy because he pushing the land of justice. And we are hearing there's a other side to this here, but we want to do. So before I go to Mr. Latro here, you want to tell us what happened, what went wrong?
Listen, I am not a spokesman for this administration. I am not in a position
damn,
hold on. Oh, see, hold on. So when I come on the platform, I speak as an analyst for the Liberian Public Radio. I am not speaking as a unity party. I supported Mr. Boakai, His Excellency, President of the Republic of Liberia. Period. There's nowhere. Hold on, sir. Hold on, sir. Hold on.
Yeah, say, let me bring one of your rescuers. Saying you're not saying you.
Oh, no. No. Listen, I am not the spokesman for Mr. Boakai. I have no position in Boakai administration, His Excellency. I've come here as an NPR or public radio security analyst, and I will give my opinion. That's what I do for Liberian Public Radio.
Okay. I'm not getting any answers from you. Welcome to Liberal Progressive. Your man now saying you were emergency text, and which is okay. Most of you, both of you, you guys are compromised because you have a side in this whole thing here. So you don't have an opinion. You have a position, except you want to be politically correct. Let me come to Chairman Latro here because more or less he's an independent guy, and so. We are of the same group here. Mr. Chairman, good to have you here and welcome. This is All Things Considered. Among my mother's children, I love myself the best. Jerry is in the Ocean State, but for some reason, he's allied with the liberals from California, Massachusetts, and all of that. So he's that kind of way. But quickly here, let's talk about our community. The laboratory thing here is too much. Let's just let's get a quick run through here. We were in the last meeting. I'm not sure why you want to talk that, but I think there's some important story that needs to be told out there so that people know the community itself is working. And you, a family, I'm hoping that to really sit down with them, understanding that being awaiting the resettlement program, a lot of things went on. We didn't need to go into detail. Honor your watch as chairman of the board of directors of Vibrant Community, managed to use the contacts and talk to relevant agency and the family. After 5, 6 years, they are finally resettled, and the community is spearheading that. How the family doing?
Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you. Good to see you, Mr. To, as well. Jerry, good night, good evening. Again, it's a pleasure being here for real. And as the Liberian Community Association, we're proud to announce the family we have. We were able to sponsor a family of 7 from the Ivory Coast who finally made it here to the Ocean State. They came about 2.5 weeks ago. The mother, fled the civil war in Liberia in 1989. She's resided in the Ivory Coast since then. She has a daughter who's 21 who was actually born in the Ivory Coast. So all the kids were literally born in the Ivory Coast. Today we had the opportunity to one of our sponsors to take the kids for their placement test in school. So the family is doing well. They were approved over 5 years ago, about literal 5.5 years ago, to come to the States, but because there was no sponsorship, so we finally decided that we will, in fact, sponsor them, and so we did. And the family she had, so they're a family of 7. There's a woman and her, 6 kids, and we're proud of doing that. We were able to, through our partner, secure an apartment for them, and which the rent and everything, and to include utilities, will be paid for the next 3 months until they get on their feet, and it's some other things. So that's where we are right now with that family. But these are stories that we do in the background. Unfortunately, we can, for confidentiality reasons, we can say more things about the family, but things are happening. We're looking forward to working with more families in the not too distant future. As things progress, we will see more things happening in our community. So that's where we are currently.
Okay, quickly here, it's important to, and I know we at some point in time will get that. Before I go to the liberal and his guy, how you got that tip off? How the community got the information? This is what was going on in or before you intercede.
So we're very good partners with a bunch of other organizations. A few years ago, around 2018, we rebranded ourselves as a resource-driven organization, the Liberian Community Organization. So we changed the structure of the Liberian Community Association, where we took away the office of the presidency, vice presidency, and all that stuff, because we felt it was a pseudo-political organization. Now, it didn't reflect a true social service organization. And so we did that. So we were able to embed ourselves with a bunch of other things. So we have partners across the state, and we got this call. I was in my office, and this guy called me like, "I need your help right now." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he told me that they need our help and kind of explained the circumstance of the family to me. I'm like, "Okay." So I called a few people on the team. I'm like, "We have to make a decision right now. We can't let it pass." Because if it hadn't been us, they would have to, to go to Minnesota or some other Liberian community organization or some organization to be able to accept them. And we were willing to say, let's just get these people here as soon as possible, because things would change. We understood the dynamic because we have insight in a bunch of other things that things would change. And fortunately, we got them here.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll leave it there, and they are here. And some people try to be nice here this evening here, but there's a saying that says, monkey never leaves the black hand behind. So they try to be quiet. They impose some sort of self-rule. It's good. That's why I like the rule, the laws, guidelines, because it contains people. So they try to be nice here. No interruption, no talking. But let's see whether that black hand, the monkey, it will surface at some point in time. The Liberal Progressive, good evening. Welcome, Terry Collins, the Minnesota politician as well / Bishop.
Thank you, and good evening. We say again, I've been a long time, but thank you very much for joining us again tonight.
Yes,
as we're here to discuss what is happening in our neck of the woods, so to speak. We hope that we will do well here tonight. Jerry, if you mind to turn your phone sideways so that you will be viewed.
Let me see how it works. Okay.
Just turn it 80 degree. We go. Maybe it's not
That
the
works,
phone.
huh?
No,
Okay.
I think it's
not a phone.
No, I don't
It's
think
a setting.
phone. Right.
It's
So
a setting. That's what.
Right. So,
are you on a phone or a laptop, sir?
On the phone.
Okay. So okay, I see what's happening. But right click
Yeah,
on
because
the phone. Right
if I
click on the
click on it,
phone
it
and
doesn't.
zoom to. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I do. I do right clicking, but it's not working. So let's see.
yes, sir.
That's okay.
All right, there you go.
What matter are your opinions, and they are very vital. They are very vital on this show here. So the uptake itself is not that much of importance than what is being stated by you here. Thank you, Mr. So, and we're here again tonight to have a wonderful show. Believe me, the rules are there. I'm not only here as one of the participants, but I'm also here as an observer of the from the board. I am here to observe a lot of stuff here tonight, and then we hope to take notes and take it back to the board meeting, of course. So, well, thank you very much for inviting us and accepting our coming. Thank you, and let's have a wonderful show.
Okay, on the board, we're ready to do a meeting, when you call the Zoom or whatever conference, when we come here, we are here to talk real national issues. So, and when you are here this event, you honor my tone, you honor my voice, and I expect you to answer my questions that I will ask with honesty, without being biased, and that people will get a takeaway. Thank you so much. Tara Collins, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, Mr. So, CEO. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Good to have you. It's good three of you together so you can be exchanging text, which is okay, and that's why we put three of you together. But let's hear you. All things considered, what the heck is going on? What is going on? Who is in charge? For God's sake, how long can we go with this? While somebody is not speaking, ECOWAS delegation is in town. Jerry Bacon started off. Yeah, well, what it come for? Blah, 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 blah. What is going on?
Well, there are a whole lot of things. Mr. Nangbe, you are hi, sir. And the celebrity liberal and also senior security analyst. The other one take it from there. But anyway, that is the
That's what that's all right. Let's just go ahead and do it. Doesn't matter. I know what it is.
that is the Israeli, Mr. Bacon. But anyway, Mr. So there are a lot of things going on that really making us now with surprise because like one of those things are the I don't know if Mr. Bacon or Mr. Dangbe can help me on this one for their Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, right? To fire another assistant minister that have been appointed by the president. I don't know if he can do that, but that shows something that because from what I know, it says that the appointment by the president, those who the president appoint works in at the will and pleasure of the president. So how can he fire a presidential appointee? Does that mean he is the de facto president instead? So we are kind of confused on that. And I also look forward to see the Tabata tomorrow, whether if there will be breaking of chairs or breaking of those again at the Capitol. So we want to see what's going to happen. We want to see whether the budget is going to go to one of those groups tomorrow, which I suspect. And like I keep saying, if that happens and the budget go to the majority bloc, that would be a checkmate on the chessboard that will compel Honorable Fonati Kofa to resign. So I hope to see that, and I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen with that. And also, the aspect of the presidential suspension on the immigration boss today, that came as a surprise. But what are they not telling us? The immigration board, you just suspended, man. You didn't tell the Liberian people why. You didn't give us a hint. You didn't give us a clue. We are left in oblivion. So again, we are skeptical, except Liberal can give an answer to that because he's on the LBS and Mr. Bacon. We hope to see.
Okay, let me just make a full declaration. I am not part of we that surprised. I am not surprised. Nothing is surprising to me. I anticipated it. I expected it. I'm not sure whether liberals or Jerry Bacon to a surprise. Why should you even be surprised? So, the liberal, are you surprised? In accordance with your guy, Terry? We are surprised. Are you part of that we? I'm not hearing you.
Muted.
There is nothing here to be surprised. The government is functioning properly. The government is working well. There might be some hiccups here and there. The president was elected to lead, and the leadership is there, and his leadership has been displayed effectively. And so there is government in Liberia. Liberia has not been run by some sort of a banana republic leadership. The leadership was elected, duly elected. They didn't come to their position through backdoor. So I'm not surprised. The president and his people will work. Now, having said that, let me just say this here very quickly. I am not happy with some of the things that we're hearing and things that are going. I'm not surprised, but I'm not happy with some of the things that is happening. I know the working of a government has never always been smooth. Has never been things that you would like to see happening all of the time, because these are human beings we're dealing with. They are flawed people just like any of us. And for us to sit here and expect that these people in fact will do things straightforwardly, then I think we're setting ourselves up for a big disappointment. And I'm not in that choir to be disappointed or be surprised. Mr. So, this government of President Bakai will show how the Liberian people will show to the Liberian people how a government supposed to be and what it takes for the government to function. And the good thing is, Liberians have seen an inept government. So if they see this rescue government trying to take some sort of a different trend, they will let the government know we've been there. We're not going back. And this government is not going back, Mr. So.
I intend for us to have a very elaborate and extensive conversation here, so we will be very succinct in our responses and so. So let's spin it across here. So I want to make sure everybody get a fair share. Jerry Bacon, are you surprised? Are you on board with Mr. Collins? We are surprised.
Well, in life, there's nothing surprise you because things gonna come that you're not expected. So it's happened. The idea, what gonna be your response when such a thing occur? Your leadership, how do you handle it? There were people will join you. There were people will determine who you are. You know, when my grandpa used to say, it's not how you fall, the way you get up, that's determine your future. That's what it is. But this, the government is functioning like my dear brother had just said. But what we want to do here is when it comes to Kofa, here Kofa say the people have been out of office for a month. He's going to suspend them. What right do you have? What constitutional right do you have to suspend the member of the legislature? You don't hire them. They were elected by the people to represent their constituents. And you, as a speaker, now you're going to say he's suspended. You're going to call it a pay cut. Let's see how it goes. Right now, he just grabbing on everything like a drowning person. He catch a leaf, you think that you're going to hold on to that leaf. He got no point anymore. So he said he's going to suspend them or he's going to cut their pay because they are not going to work. And you don't have no right. What is your right? What law are you using to say you're going to suspend your people in the office? You got no control over that. You got no legal right to say yeah you're going to suspend it. So you suspended, then what happened? What happened to the rest of the people? So that means you don't have a forum, you don't have a quorum. So how are you going to work if you suspend for the six or for the no for the what for the two of them? Where are you going? Where is your leadership? You the same person here, Mr. So. that the president need to turn, scream. Why is he not doing the same thing? You the red when you come on the show, say, oh, Mr. Buckeye. Why is it the speaker is not doing the same thing? He's a speaker, he's a sitting speaker. He can read across the aisle and say, listen, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I know they got some ladies among the majority block. Reach out to them. That's what leadership is all about. You might not like it, but that's why you show leadership. But you cannot say you put a demarcation between you and the people that you don't want to speak to them. What is the leadership? Everything will blame on the president. No,
Okay.
you hold on a second, sir. You are the third person in power to to run the Republic of Liberia. You are the third person. What is your responsibility? What is your leadership? What is your intervention? Oh, because you see everybody say, "Oh, you're a lawyer, you're a lawyer." Also, because you say began a law degree, you think you don't want a lawyer in a House of Representatives? They are, I think, all the lawyers.
I have to come in, and we're going to keep this so-called state of emergency or whatever imposed by one of your own. So, Chairman Lateral,
Yes, sir.
this is one of the biggest hypocrisy. People are so dishonest, and it is absurd. Jerry Bacon refused to address asking a specific question from one of their own, Terry. The Liberal came in 360-degree, taking off back in the dark days, the days that we said was dark, and we wanted to come in the light where there would be peanut butter and jelly. He didn't speak to it. Jerry Bacon, on the other hand, doing the same thing over and over. He did not touch what Terry was saying. Instead, he gone to fanatic Kofa. Poor Kofa, his own battle that he's fighting, he has gone to hint to literally politically executing. Now, let me just ask you, Terry asked a very consequential question. Are you surprised?
So I'm not surprised, honestly. But what I'm surprised at is the fact that while we have three equal but separate branches of government, I'm surprised that the president or the executive decided to write the chief clerk asking how to address the issue of the budget. I advising the president when it comes to those things, but I think the advice should have been, how do we approach this? I think the president, rightfully so, and it shows we don't have an imperialist presidency. However, I think he has to go to Liberian people and actually express what's happening in the House. Because, I mean, we have the issue of the budget coming up, right? They're asking who do we submit the budget to. Terry mentioned in his expose earlier that if he presents the budget to the majority bloc, it's a doomsday for Speaker Kofa. I think before even getting to that point, the president should address the nation and telling them what the state of affairs is in the country. The buck stops with him ultimately, whether we have three separate but equal branches of government. And I'm actually proud of the fact that I think they're in between a rock and a hard place too, because they can't come forward and say, okay, we're doing this, because if we do it, people will be like, oh, guess what? You guys orchestrated this whole thing. But whether they doom if they do or doom if they're done, if they don't, right? So I think the leadership here is key. I'm actually flabbergasted and blown away that would have ECOWAS, some people from ECOWAS come to even mediate with our legislators. That's embarrassing on so many different levels, I think. So many different levels. And I think that the president or whoever that's advising the president and his handlers need to step up and actually offer sound advice to the president to step forward and do and take the mantle of leadership in the country.
Okay, so now you are open the one, then I'll be forced to ask the question, and let me go back to the author of this whole thing who brought this up, Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins, where is the leadership? Where is the leadership in the Republic of Liberia to take charge of this vessel that is literally sinking with an unknown technician. Why will you guys put us in a vessel to take a nationwide tour and knowing fully well you do not have a technician on the vessel and anything can happen in the ocean? Why?
Being surprised doesn't mean leadership is not being exhibited. Being surprised just only means that I'm kind of taken aback on some of the decisions on the president and some of the action. But what is happening in the country have always been happening in Liberia under every major leadership. I hear people talking about the House, people talking about, if this happened, that means within 6 months another speaker can be removed. Well, if that was the case, that then Speaker Buffer Chima under President Weah should have been removed from power. All right. So this type of action by the lawmakers is not an action that always happen or always occur. This happens once in a blue moon. We have had speakers being removed under Madam Sally for 12 years when we had Ombil in a huge something. We have the same outcry and the same kind of disgruntled behavior in the House of Legislature. As a matter of fact, we have had people like Akaris Gray and Solomon George throwing BT in the House kingdom.
So okay, hold on 1 second. I did hear you saying Honor Helen Johnson Sirleaf. At the time, Joseph Boyka was the vice president. Because we try to see whether there's a pattern here of this sort of behaviors or this sort of occurrence.
At that time, he was parked in the garage.
Oh, he was in a garage.
Yeah, at that time the paper was parked. But what I wanted to say, Mr. So is this, right? Leadership is being exhibited, but the problem here is that there are many missteps that surprised me as an individual and as a Liberian that I thought President Boyka would have nipped in the bud. All right. And that is where my surprise comes in, because we saw the previous leadership under President Weah, and based upon that, we chose a different route. But there are some things that we see President Boyka handling carelessly that I thought he's not supposed to do that. For the House of Representatives, I don't think that is some of the issues that surprised me, because what is going on in the House there I'm not surprised at all. The only thing I'm looking at is the vandalization that I think is inappropriate, and I don't expect it from the lawmaker. And I think that Speaker Kofa is not actually exercising leadership enough. Up to now, he has refused to give a statement. I saw Dr. Robtel's long speech the other day, but then she did not debunk and she did not speak or condemn to the actions of the legislatures yesterday from the Kofa Blacks. So that means she has already taken side. And we also have to understand that the public is also reputable people in our society. I saw Mr. Cummings' letter. Mr. Cummings also seems that he has taken side. He did not condemn the actions by the vandalization of the house. And it seems like a lot of people have taken side in this thing. And I think they are taking side on purpose, because they think that Mr. Boyka is not running. They want for Mr. Boyka leadership to fail. And I'm surprised, because he too is also, on the other hand, not really taking the bull by the horn as we expected. My surprise really came from the decision made by the Minister of State by firing or dismissing an appointee of the president.
Okay, let me speak to that.
Maybe to say I'm surprised.
So Terry, you kind of walking all around, leaving Minnesota, getting on Spirit Airline, taking you to Dallas.
I'm going to Raleigh.
No. I don't think bring you to Raleigh. Let me take you to California, because what you guys doing here this evening is trying to find a shelter, to find a temporary place, so that I strongly feel like you just want a show to come to an end. That's exactly what you and the Liberals and Jerry Bacon is doing. I'm surprised they want, and also, where is the leadership? So you alluded here this guy just started with this whole thing on a Helen Johnson. So he was in the garage, yeah, in your ward, not me. So I don't want the liberal to come at me. He was parked in the garage. So it seems to be here there's a parting with taking the lead. When you are a leader, you make some hardcore choices, decisions that even your people were like. And let me just tell you with respect, and I go to Chairman Latro and the Liberal company. I want them to be engaged. Yes, I too formerly worked with the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, at the time Minister Charles Gabriel. Upon the recommendation, the minister proper has to write making recommendation with the consent of the president, depending on what happened. That minister can recommend firing of assistant minister or even higher up. However, that
recommendation.
No, I'm coming. However, that decision, it will not come from the president because there's a specific recommendation. We do not know it, but I'm just telling you because there was same instance it happens in the past. But yes, Minister Sylvester Grisby, as minister proper, that ministry runs directly under his supervision. Any of the junior officers not doing what they're supposed to do, including you, me, you can be fired. So he has that authority as the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs. Chairman Latro, these guys are going to have a very rough night. They try to defend the indefensible. The Liberal taking us back to George Weah Akaragri. Come on, guys. Come on. We have surpassed that long time. You told us XYZ going to be happening. That is not happening. You're seeing folks now, you're crying, oh, I want the good for the country. But the only problem that I have with you guys, to even come out to admit, and the Liberal did that yesterday, very defiant as a typical Liberian politician who can come out to admit to their wrong. Terry Kama, I'm surprised. And the only thing I'm not surprised about, because he tried to find some sort of accommodation to fine-tune the language. He doesn't want his ally then to feel bad about him. Liberal distance from him. Jerry Bacon came out, jumped to different thing here. Now, if we as commentators, analysts, pundits continue to do this, I think we are not doing Liberia fair. If we can hold one of our own accountable, responsible of the bad administrative policy, and then we expect the country to do well, that's not right. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So again, I think it goes back to the question of leadership, and that's what the conversation we're having here. There has to be some kind of leadership here. I agree. Again, as I mentioned before, we have three separate but equal branches of government. However, though, just on its face, the optics is completely bad. Whether the president feels, and rightfully so, doesn't have the right to intervene or at least directly in the fracas that's happening at the Capitol with the speaker and everything else, he has the inherent right as a president to actually address the nation on this stuff, talk about it. First of all, we want to present our budget to these people, but no one's listening. He could call them to caucus. He has the authority to do so. Gentlemen, let's do so. You have the chairman on executive, even though he's with the other side. He can have these conversations with these people. He could broker a deal, showing leadership and broker a deal there to have these people move back. And for me, again, it's saddening to me because it comes down to the sovereignty of our nation, to everything to call ECOWAS or ECOMOG. And I think it's within the Liberian fabric now, because everything we talk about now, we talk about, international community. These people are, whether they're partners, they are our partners. We're not subservient to them, right? We're partners to them. So don't take the whole issue of our sovereignty and just toss it in someone's hand and say, oh, guess what? ECOWAS in town now, so that means everything's going to be fixed. That saddens me on so many different levels. I think the president and his handlers need to step up. I think they need to, to come and show, listen, we can do this. Let's have this call these people. The president can broker that peace that I think that they allow it to go too far now. So obviously it's gone too far. And I think the ultimately Speaker Kofa will have to resign, because as much as he's trying to set premise that, like Terry said, the premise now is, okay, listen, we've had these people. We have people in your block destroying the property there. We have people doing this. We had all these things happening there. Someone has to have a level head here, and the president needs to lead and actually start to have a conversation with the public, the public, the Liberian people, and let them know what's happening there.
Okay, so let me just tell you, by you just saying Speaker Kofa has to resign, you are elevating somebody cholesterol, their blood pressure right now. The Liberal Progressive, let me just bring you, I don't think this is what you want to hear. The Liberal is like a pizza club between the Caesar. He saw ally to Joseph Boyka and that of Fanatic Kofa. So he been playing a fine line. He doesn't want to offend the Boyka wing. Jerry Bacon will get mad. He doesn't want to talk about Kofa resigning, his friend Kofa here. So he's a friend to these politicians. How can this guy come on this network to say he represents the interests of the Liberian people when he has a side, when he is a friend to the president, friend to the speaker, all of these higher elite money guys, and then he comes here to say he for the Liberian people? That's just being dishonored. So the Liberal, you heard Chairman Latro saying the speaker has to resign. I don't think that's what you want to hear.
Thank you, Mr. So. It is not about what I want to hear, and it's not about you characterizing my position or my person. Does not faze me a bit. You say whatever you want to say. And secondly, the chairman has a position. The chairman is entitled to his position. The chairman is entitled to his opinion. I am not here to disqualify his position in this vital conversation that we're having. I am not in the position to do such. However, I also will say to you, Mr. So, that indeed Speaker Kofa should not and must not resign. Now, reason being, Speaker Kofa has the Constitution on his side. And because of that, if he does resign, what happened to the Constitution? That means these people will come back and do it again. These group, respectable legislation, respectable people as well, they must be able to understand that there are rules and there are processes in which you apply in order to get a result. Anything, when you're sleeping, the result of that is for you to rest yourself so you can get up in the morning. If you violate that sleeping rule, you get choked and coughing all night because you're sleeping and want to swallow at the same time, you are violating the rules. There are rules to everything you do. That's just human nature. And you must be able to understand the rule, when to apply, and where this rule is supposed to be applied. This is one of those cases. And for me, yes, people, this is about the country. It's about the Republic of Liberia. We're all Liberians. We have skin to fly in this game. I mean, there's nothing else. So for the chairman to come out and believe in himself and believe what he's saying, and I'm not here going to sit here to say I'm going to dispute that. Believe the speaker need to resign. There's a reason. But for me, why I do feel as well that the country need to move forward without this type of debacle that is happening, we need to have it resolved. However, we as Liberians must learn how to build institutions. We as Liberians must learn how to respect the rules that we ourselves put in place. We did not go to Guinea to borrow Guineans to come and write our constitution. The Constitution was written 86. For Christ's sake, how old was I? I was almost 70 years old when the Constitution was written. So I am not here to say I don't remember. This is not 1847 Constitution we're talking about. Now, Mr. So, quite frankly, the issue of the resignation of the Speaker can be discussed. But for me, I can say without any regret whatsoever that Speaker Kofa should stay, not because he wants to destroy the economy of the country, not because he wants to weaken the executive, not because he does not respect the judiciary branch of the government, but the speaker must stand out for all Liberians by protecting that particular clause in the Constitution that say if the speaker
Okay.
and other people have to be removed, there are procedures, there are processes, and the Constitution also shows us how to go about it. We must respect that. And because of that, I'm saying that the speaker should stay, Mr. So.
Okay.
And as far as your characterization of my character and my person is concerned, Mr. So, you and I been at this thing here almost 18 years now. You think you're able to move me? My ain't thing, you mom, you ain't thing. What you think you do to me? That yeah, you can't say you this, you did, you. How many times have you not called me the most embarrassment on this network? How many times have you not called me the most ridiculous person on this network? How many times have you not called the liberal as being the most ridiculous, the most shameful, and the most what words have you not used on me? In fact, just to let you know on a secret, the more you try to use his word on me, the more popularity I become. I mean, the more popularity that comes my way, the more popular I am with the Liberian people. And people love me. There's a guy here before I came on. He warned you. He said, you must let the liberal speak his mind tonight. Don't interrupt. It's there. The records are there. Right here on the show. Somebody wrote. You didn't pay attention to it? So, Mr. So,
Okay.
you're not going to move me.
I respect people's view. Before I go to Mr. Collins and Dr. Bakont, you said it must be resolved. How?
It have to be resolved through the means that were prescribed in the Constitution. This is the interesting, very serious now. You cannot be the lawmaker and try to break the law that you want Liberian to follow. Then you are not serious. If you want speaker, they have laid out some very serious allegation that many Liberians, whether here or at home, will frown on speakers Speaker Kofa. However, those allegations are very serious. Present your case to your colleagues and see if you can find the 49 and remove the speaker. That's the only resolution. You can bring China, you can bring the Chinese to resolve it, it's not going to be resolved. You can bring ECOWA, you can bring UN, it's not going to be resolved. It's not going to be resolved. Because the people that are coming, Mr. So, unless they are willing to violate the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, this thing is going nowhere. The Constitution must be applied. Thank you.
Okay. You know, if I've never agreed with you on anything, and you know me, for me, I can say it, I believe where the law is, and the number that requires ECOFA to be removed is 49. So on that one, yes, I give it to you, and
Mr.
that's what I want to
So,
see
because
happening.
the young man
Hold
wrote
on.
you, because the young man wrote you here and told you to respect the liberal tonight, that's why you agree with me for. So don't come and pretend to say you'll be agreeable. No, because the young man, the audience are telling you that the liberal must be respected here tonight. That's why you're coming to trying to appease them. You think we don't know your trick? We know. My audience know you who you are.
Okay, whatever it is. Papi, I know you always like to get attention. I used to it. Cherry, there seems to be Mr. Collins, there seems to be a divided role. Dr. Mali, I'm not sure what I sent that link, but I double check I just sent. If I did, that was not on purpose, I just sent. But Terry, quickly, there seems to be a divided role. You've been calling, if I'm wrong, just bring it to my attention. Abi, you've been calling or been saying that it's time for Kofa to go. Am I correct? Or you should resign. So let's hear your side. Let's hear your argument. The rule says the rule says they must have 49. That's the process. There's no any other way to spin that. Whether I don't dignify that, whatever block majority, no. In order for Fanatic Kofa to be removed as a speaker, the group must come in chambers They must present their argument, a due process must be given, and ultimately they must have that magic number of 49. That will validate their political argument that indeed Fanatic Kofa will be removed. Why are you trying to rewrite the Constitution, something that is already on board, and you want to have an overnight referendum for people to agree to it? Why? Dr. Jones, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, and I'll bring in my.
Yeah, so Mr. So, my thing here is, is that there are more reasons why Fanatic Kofa need to resign, because in recent time, again, he has shown no leadership at all. And for me, in as much as I support the law, Fanatic Kofa then have been part of the syndicate that have not been following that law that you're quoting. So how can you stand now to defend a law that you never followed? That's one. You were. If you listen to Kabina Jana gave a story about Nelson Mandela. They asked him a question. They said, "Why are you supporting this man?" And this man was the same man that denied the court proceeding to remove you illegally after the court ruled. And the man said there was a guy who used to always ill-treat Nelson Mandela in prison for 25 years. When Nelson Mandela got up, Nelson Mandela went and shook the man's hand and gave him position. And people say, why he did that? And Nelson Mandela said, so that he can know. But so what I'm saying is that you never follow any law. You set these bad precedents for the past years. All right. And that now have become the way of life that have become the interpretation of the Constitution per the legislature, because they have tried it before and it have been working. I'm not saying that Fonati shouldn't follow the law. I'm not telling him not to hold on. But I'm saying, what is the importance of you holding on when you do not have the power to exercise? What made you speaker is your gavel. If the gavel cannot exercise the authority to make you speaker, you don't have the speakership. And right now, the court said that these people are not illegal because the court refused to file a writ of prohibition against the majority black. So what does that tell you? You went to the court, you claim the people are not operating constitutionally. The court said we cannot issue or stay order on the operation of these people. That means these people are operating legally. So you did that, you came back. Then you're telling us you want us to believe that these people are operating illegally. So who is interpreting the law? You or the court, the Supreme Court? So I don't understand, because one of the things that were put in the writ was to declare these people on their own that they unconstitutional, they operating unconstitutional, and compel them to come under his gavel. The court said we cannot do that because we cannot interfere into the legislature politics. So my position here is not against Fanatic Kofa. My position here is, if my gavel cannot work for me, why am I a speaker? Now look at the disgrace that's coming on him. You got 2029 election coming. Look at the disgrace now. You go to the House of Parliament, you cannot have a quorum. Your friends are having quorum. The president is hesitating to send you the budget. You, the speaker. The president hesitating to send you the budget.
The president is what?
Hesitating
to send the budget to him. So let me ask you before starting with your Tabatana. Let me ask you this question here. Mako, who is here? Who is the speaker? Who is the speaker of the House of Representatives in Alberta?
It's Fanatic Kofa. But the president risks stalling the country budget if he sends the budget to Fanatic, because Fanatic cannot have a.
If it does happen, if that I wouldn't know yet. We're all holding our breath to see here before I go to here. Then who violates the Constitution?
Who violates the Constitution?
Yeah,
Only
then
the
who
Supreme Court can
compromised
tell us.
if the
Only the
president sent
Supreme Court, the
if the
Supreme
president
Court.
sent the budget to the renegade folks?
Well, you call them renegade, but the court did not say they are renegades. The court have not declared them
saying
unconstitutional.
I am saying that that's
Yeah.
how I feel about them, their behavior, their attitude, because they do not want to
Yeah,
be a
but
gentleman.
feeling,
They do not want to
Mr.
hold
So,
intimates. They do
I'm
not want to
sorry.
be intimates.
I'm sorry that your feeling is not law. The Supreme Court that's supposed to declare these people unconstitutional to settle this matter, so you and I can defend it. The Supreme Court said they cannot put a stay order on them because as far as they are concerned, these people
Right.
are following the rules. The people did not say Fonati is not speaker. The people said we cannot sit under your gavel. And they are claiming that according to the rule, along with other lawyers, that according to the rule, they can have a quorum. That's what they said. And the Supreme Court did not forbid them. But we should say because we feel that the people are wrong, so we should declare them wrong. Meanwhile, because of what the Supreme Court did, you get government officials now going to the majority black.
Well, then we want to see, and it's quite correct. That's my personal view. They are our leaders, and if they are not doing what they should be doing, the house, the reason that house is there, the reason the chamber is there, is to take their grievances. Politics is all about persuasion and being able to make. I want to know as well, and I have the right to know as a citizen of that country, why the speaker should resign. I want to know it. The only way we know is when they have that sort of engagement and put those points. That's what literally the Supreme Court
Mr.
is
So let me
telling
just
us.
say the last point before I go. Or any genuine country in the world, if the majority of your colleagues come out to say whether they were induced with money, they were bribed, they were this, they were that, but this majority of your colleagues, including your own deputy speaker, come out to tell you, say, we're not sitting under your gavel. What am I doing there? Is that my power fan? Was I born there?
So
I would definitely resign.
don't
Why?
never
Because
contest for
they
any
stopping
position.
me from having a quorum. Then I stand up to say I'm protecting the law. What kind of law are you protecting when you can't have a quorum?
Okay.
You can't exercise the authority as a speaker. What kind of law are you protecting? That is insane. In the great United States of America, the majority said they never wanted the speaker. I think in 2016, the people gang up. They said they didn't want a speaker. The speaker did not wait for you to go have this,
Yeah,
that.
but quickly,
The man
they had a meeting. At the end of the day, they were in chamber. Okay, let me go to Dr. Jones quickly here, and then I'll bring back on into the fray. Dr. Jones, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah. How are you guys? And hello,
Okay.
Chairman Latro. So you departed or you just coming by, you are welcome.
Yeah, you got to keep making those appearances. Yeah, the sporadic appearances.
I know that business schedule. Yeah, see you. The
Wednesday, what are you considering? If you want to talk about it, that's okay. I said today is Wednesday. I don't know what you have in your folder, so if you want to speak about it, that's okay. So let's hear you.
Well, we already have dinner on the table. Let's just look at the dinner on the table tonight. The issue here is like I said it the last time. It is very humiliating, you know, to His Excellency government, to be very frank with you. This is a real intentional embarrassment to GMB government. At least expected this to happen, you see. But here is the thing. This is also a test to our fragile democracy. And it's also a test to the rule of law in Liberia. So this whole thing is split from three angles. It has the political aspect, the legal aspect, and the cash aspect. And it seems to be the cash aspect has taken hold of the whole scenario in Liberia right now. But here is the thing. I think we need to invoke some logic in the discussion right now. Will we support the speaker to hold on to the rule of law while the horse is burning down to the ground, or let the rule of law go and let the horse stand? So look at the last one. If the argument is yes, let the speaker hold on while Liberia is burning down, then I don't see where is the leadership. I don't see leadership in there. Because in the first place, the separatist group, they got nothing to lose here. They will just talk against them, but actually they got nothing to lose in this whole thing. They're playing the wait and see game. The speaker is also playing a wait and see game. Who will defect from that camp to come to him? If the speaker had the 49 people today, he will be moving. In fact, he will even indict these guys. But he doesn't have it. You see? So the problem now is they are just putting His Excellency in a very serious predicament, and it doesn't august well for the nation, to be very frank with you. So I think the only thing I was seeing today is for the Church of Council, the churches of council need to come in to carry on some mediation. No, to carry on some mediation. I'm telling you, because it's like the political aspect has failed. The legal aspect is crumbling already. Those guys still holding their ground. The speaker continue to look ugly each day on ground that you want to hold rule of law. But the country is going down the drain. So by logic, instead of we keep holding to the rule of law for the country to keep disintegrating, making it to look bad, one person has to give in. What the guy doing is wrong, totally wrong. But the country is going down the drain. This is the patriotic portion I am coming from. The country is going down the drain. This thing can continue for the next, it may continue for the next 1 year. It may continue for the next 2 years. There will be no business going on in our country there. Who is going to be affected? Joseph Boakai government is going to be affected. It's going to affect investment. People will be scary. It may lead to instability. It may lead to mutiny. A whole lot of things will come out of this thing here. So mediation would be the best way forward in my own thinking. But someone just said His Excellency is hesitating to submit this budget. Well, I think the Excellency need to know one thing. We still have a speaker, and he's supposed to submit the budget to the speaker. It is his duty to sit down and see what the speaker is going to do.
Hold on. I want to go to Jared back on here. You see, sometimes here, I'm not sure my alignment with you here will. I don't think it will last. I don't think it will take us into 2025. You're telling us now the house is burning, the house is going down for the good of the country. So you want the president to send so when our budget go, the house will not burn down, right?
No. Listen, I was making a point here. You just shut me off. There are two separate things we're talking about here. I said we have a speaker. Officially, we have a speaker. Whether he's a functional speaker, that's a different ball game. But we have a speaker. And so you tell me that we don't have a speaker.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay. So if we have the speaker, if I were Joseph Boakai, I would test the speaker. I would surely send the budget to his office and see what's going to happen. Assuming nothing is happening, the speaker got to tell me why is it that nothing is happening. Because officially, what's going on in Liberia, if I were the president, I would be watching. No official complaint has come to me. Okay. We are all looking at what's going on. Okay? So these are two separate arguments here.
Let's spin the ball. Jared Barcont, should I make the presiding judge to cut this case here? You will not be the right judge. Well, for discussion purposes here, let me just, you listen to Dr. Mali.
I think
Okay, Dr. Mali said because of the rule of law.
Here than this man.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Is he coming to speak? Okay, he said, okay, for the, you know, he wants to have the law on the other side. He validating to the argument, yes, he's still a speaker. I am standing my ground that yes, he is a speaker until these folks that out of desperation, they are unable. And before you speak, what I am stunned and surprised that even this government, it was widely reported that some finances were induced in the process of removing its speaker. I hosted a representative here. I saw that on Facebook, but he sent me the message, he said everything. And up to this time, there is no active case as to where that money came from, who facilitated that money. Yes, politicians would do that, but all the actions of giving money, if it is a violation, if it is against the rules, if it is against the law, why are these people not being held accountable? You have LSCC, WACC, or whatever it is. We don't know. They call people, they talk to people, and this guy told us that he turned the money. They gave him, he's turned it over to LSCC as FOC. They gave him the receipt because I asked him all of those questions and all here. Why you are security analysts? Why is a government not telling us and establish the fact as to whether it happens or not? Whether there was some financial transactions were involved in the process of removing the speaker, or was there some ethical violation, rules of the House rule was violated by the speaker? Mr. Bacon.
Well, I said it on this platform. I will say it again. I will say it over and over and over again. The Capitol building, it is a crime scene. It is a white-collar crime institution, if I may. And the money issue, that was the genesis of the whole thing. When it started, somebody was in a car who was giving money, that had the whole thing started. And by now, I thought by now, the Ministry of Justice should have stepped in up to do by now. But anyway, that's a different ballgame. But here's the thing I want to really talk about tonight, and I'm pissed. I am mad. And I'm turning in and out.
Mad with who?
Yes. I don't know who is doing this to Mr. Boyka, Your Excellency. Who are the advisors to him that's misleading him? And I think we need to bring Mr. Smith back, the former Minister of Public Works. He said something. He said the people that stood with you, they believe in a cause. And when they are not around, people who come in the middle of it, they derail the train. We need to bring him back because he made some points. So I agree with him sometimes. So a minister.
The boat,
but yes,
the boat, sir? The boat.
I said, Mr. Smith, I think you're former Minister of Public Works.
What you said? You said the train.
We need to bring him back. But here's the point I want to make today. It's a shame on the Liberian government that somebody will scam us. Somebody scammed the entire government, and somehow we have sat down and we are writing articles of cybercrime in Liberia. In Liberia, ready for cybercrime, and they're not even paying attention to it. Yeah, what happened today? Or what happened when the 250 students to come to America with $25 million not guaranteed money or collateral money. And as I was listening to the other station today, it's a scam, it's a 401 scam. And if you go check it out, go to the Ministry of Education. It's nothing but a scam. And for the president of the Republic of Liberia to drag Joseph Boakai, His Excellency, for him to say, yes, we have 250 students that will be going to America to study for 5 years and will come back, and some who had a reservation. Or had a reservation on that issue. I said, but if we can take the $25 million, why don't just recruit people from here and go back to Liberia compared to $25 million? Again, reality that it's nothing but 401, no, 419. And who are somebody need to be dismissed? Somebody need to be prosecuted. And these are the action the president need to take.
People are being dismissed, but they are not being prosecuted to the extent
Okay,
that
I will lay on the issue. It's a disgrace to our country for you to drag the president of the Republic of Liberia to come and make that pronouncement. The minister of information say, yeah, these are the things the president can go out of the country, and you bring the money into the country, and students going to go out of the country, and to find out there's some lady in Ghana. But let's wait. I think they're going to have a meeting on Friday in Liberia. The representative coming. If this is true, the minister of justice need to come in. Those who made us scam, they need to be arrested and carried to South Beach. And we have to set a precedent in our country. And this is what I say in my article. This Liberia is ready for cybercrime, and they are not paying attention. And Joseph, Excellency, he said he wanted to establish the legislature, to pass a legislature about what kind of crime in our country and the cyber crime in our country. And they are not paying attention to how the people came in. Nobody invented it. Nobody do a background check. Just go check it out right now. You just put the scanning something. Zero. Nothing but 419. Thank you. I'm pissed.
Sure. So right now you have created a headache on me. Probably people are gonna give me a pen tablet here. This is a experience. This is what we have on the bell. Work in government, metro. Why would Jerry Bacon tell us that somebody dragged the old man into this thing here? The liberal. And I know you.
Yeah, you meet it.
Liberal, talk to us.
Yes, Mr. So, thank you very much. I've been listening very patiently, and I can say for sure these are very interesting times for Liberia.
Oh,
yes. Once again, I will go with my old talking point. At this point, perhaps that talking point has become so diluted that many audience and viewer might not even want to take that into consideration anymore. But I will do my best. I will try to inject new energy into this talking point. Mr. So, those of us that believe in teamwork, those of us that play football, when you are around a leader on the field of play, before you get on the field, you are assigned a number, you are assigned a position. But that doesn't mean that position is the only place you can stay. And those of us who have both legs, to utilize both legs, you can move anywhere. When I used to play right there in Rhode Island, where you guys are right now, when I used to play in that town, I leave from one place to another. When we play the Ghanaians or the Nigerians, I'm all over the place in the front. But it's not about me. The point that I'm trying to make here, Mr. So, is this. To move a country such as Liberia to the next level is very challenging. There's no question asked. Sometimes I sit down here or lay down in a couch there and tears can almost in my eyes. Why is this man not even calling people like me?
Who man?
President Boakai. To say, come, Mr. So, we have a rule. The board is taking notes.
No, I'm conducting. You're leaving. You're giving
Mr. So, will you
Convincingly.
please
No,
let me
listen,
land?
no,
I have my
I can stop you. I can stop you. I am facilitating the conversation. You can't, this is not a radio area you speak and the audience left with doubt. So I'm asking you, say the man, I'm asking who man?
okay. I said President Barker, can I move
Oh,
on?
okay.
Okay. The point that I'm trying to make here, Mr. So, it is not about me. There are many other Liberians that feel like that. There are those of us who want to work and move our country to the next level. But the idea that you must know somebody before they can even talk to you, it's ridiculous. And those friends that we know that are working with the president, many of them, when you call them, they don't even pick up your call anymore. So at this point, this is just a conversation that we're having to keep us alive. It is therapeutic. Let's put it that way. It helped my soul to talk about Liberia, but they are not serious, Mr. So. They are not serious. When the president of the Republic of Liberia invite you to say, come and join me. The president was all over the world, all over the place in Liberia, campaigning and making some specific remark how to move the country forward. And you are asked to join. And we're having these kinds of elementary snafu all over this place. They are not serious. All they want is money. And we will be in it for a very long time. I'm being very honest with you. If you are asked to do a specific job, if you do not know how to do it, there are people in the Liberian community all over the world that can help you. Reach out to them. But those who believe they know and they know they don't know, they are the bigger fool. And we got plenty of them in Liberia serving.
Okay.
They have no clue. They have no clue. And I agree with, and this is what it also upsetting me. I agree with Jerry. For these people to pretend to be an advisor, to pretend to be something, when they're given the opportunity, they all mess up like this and drag the president in it. No, I don't blame the president. The president actually want to carry out the job, and these people are not doing a good job. Now, let me just say something from my observation. I don't know this president. He doesn't know who I am. But from my own observation, this president would take action. He's very slow, but he will take action. And people will be surprised. Those who believe they're fooling the president, have a word over the president's eyes, they will be surprised. Many of them, you will find them right back here in the United States pushing cartoon because many of them have no career. And that's why they ran over there in Liberia to try to find a job. They can't come here and function the way they're functioning over there. They will not survive in this United States. Because here, whether you push cartoon or not, you have to do an honest day job to get an honest day pay. In Liberia, they don't do that. They go and escape because they are unable to survive in the United States. They escape and go over there and try to get free money. Unbelievable. I wanted to use some colorful language, but the bull is watching. I'll be careful.
Chairman Latro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The liberal, big shame on you. Complete disgrace. Why all of these excuses, you don't hold the president responsible, this and that. This is a disgrace. You need to stop this. You all have to raise this alligator we find ourselves in. And this is a classical argument that I can run with, and you could agree with me if you tend to be real to Liberian like myself, that the president can't make decisions for himself. And the president is unable to make decisions. To come tell us here, the people, you want to blame the people? He is the sheriff. He is the driver of this wagon. And there is, we could do something.
You see, this, I'm going to violate my own rule. This is where you shouldn't have this issue. You believe in blaming the president. And at the end of my statement, I made a specific reference to the president.
No.
That the president will act. He's slow,
Well,
but
I don't want to hear
but
that.
no, you
I
want to
don't
hear
want to
that.
hear
You
that.
want to just go ahead and wrap it
I
around the
don't.
president's neck, and this is what we will push back
So
on you very
you are
strongly.
telling me
Go ahead, carry on your
people
statement.
are dying, people are drowning, a child needs restoration, needs life, and you say, oh, okay, tomorrow we're going to bring the IV when the doctor is saying this child have less than an hour here. Look, Latro, these people here, the liberal is very dishonest. He wants to be correct. He doesn't want to make Joseph Boycott feel bad. He doesn't want to make Fanatical to feel bad. So he's been very strategic to curb. But they have this sort of pattern here, selective in certain standard. When it comes to certain people, the standard go over the roof. When it comes to certain people, it's being curbed. And I can arguably say that this president does not have this history of making decisions. One, we saw that happening with Emmanuel Nokwe when he contested the last time around. How long it took him to make a decision to get a vice presidential pick? Less than 2-3 weeks today. Two, we saw when he was head of the coalition, he was going to go back to have this result. Part of that leader is to take some decisive decision. Let the people know that you are stable. Yeah, we are the liberal coming here to be politically correct, and he will. I don't want to hear that will. Come in, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think we will submit on the issue of constitutionality. However, though, I think Jones, Dr. Mali kind of mentioned something along those lines. I think it's a moral versus a legal argument that needs to be made here. So in the case of the speaker, and people talk about constitutionality, people aren't coming from, excuse me if I, go back and someone causes people PTSD, from the border and saying the president should resign or Speaker Kofi to resign. That's the difference. That's the issue of constitutionality. They're not saying that Grand Crew should lose their representative. That's constitutionality. No one's saying that. The speaker is voted by his peers. So he was voted by his peers in there. Majority of those people, however, have decided that the speaker they've had no confidence in the speaker. Now that's a rule. Now the rules in the legislative rule or the House rule is you have to have a certain amount of people to do so. That's a rule. So if you look at it, if you throw constitutionality into it, you're not talking about the Constitution because you're not asking Grand Crew to lose their representative. You're not asking Senator Kofi to say, okay, walk away. We're gonna disbar you, for lack of a better term, from the House. They're not saying that. They're just saying you're not going to be our speaker anymore because we have no confidence in you as a person. Okay, so the rules say you have to have the 49 people or so to remove you from your seat. But if you look at the issue of the country and the stance to where the country is, and Terry mentioned the point very strategically too, that you don't have to see the entire thing break because you have a rule in place. And Mr. Toll mentioned, we're trying to set a premise because in the future this will not happen, all these different things. That's the Senate rule. Being a person, and granted, he could decide the rules say I need to stay there. But if we look at things that continue to unfold, look at what happened at the Capitol yesterday, all these different things. I think, and for these, in his interest, if he has any political future, or if something he wants to do, is to think about it strategically. Because if he decides to hold on and the house burns with him, that's a different thing. You cannot hold on, in favor because legally, I have the legal ground to hold on and do this. Fine, do all you want, but legally too, those people have the right to assemble, as per the Supreme Court, right? So he's not gonna push them to the point where he says, "Oh, you guys they're forced to come back." So what I'm saying is, again, it's an issue of leadership. I think, as much as I will go back to my point, 3 separate but equal branches of government. Yes, sir.
I hate to interrupt. Leadership. Which leadership are you referring to?
I'm talking about the president. Because we talk about the rules that way. President Boyka, of course, and his team. Someone has to do something. The country. He needs to submit a budget. He needs to go to the Liberian people and pitch this. He cannot be writing the chief clerk asking for direction. That's embarrassing. You write the chief clerk, where do I send this to? They're not going to tell you anything. If he decides, he's damned if he does, damned if he don't. So at this point, strategically, if the president handlers need to tell him, listen, sir, go to the Liberian people and make a case to Liberian people. Address the nation, tell the nation that we need to submit a budget. This is where we are. It has, you know, different implications. We talk about investment. People talk about people coming for investment. All these different things. The budget hasn't been passed. We got Christmas around the corner. The holiday season is around the corner. He needs to let the people know. If Kofi, and rightfully so, decides to stand his ground and decide not to move, what happens to the country in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months or more? So that's what we're saying.
And that's the point some of us are making. And we said the president needs to intervene. He is the president. He is the standard bearer of the ruling party.
No. You see, intervention and making a statement are two different things. So let's get it straightened out.
Oh, God. See, he getting in feelings right now because I say president needs to intervene.
No, but
what I'm talking about here.
It's clarity.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't allow me to something, but I understand where you and Liberal tonight. You guys, it's not one of your best night. He's not in charge, so I see where he's been very uncomfortable. What I'm saying here, look, on a serious note, he is the president of the Republic of Liberia. There is a lot expected of him. The speaker is the number 3 person when it comes to the constitution, where the president can make a vice president before it comes to the speaker. That the administration's day-to-day operations lies within the executive. If anything goes wrong tomorrow, God forbid, we don't want to hold Kofi responsible. It is the president, because enough was said and done. What we're talking about here, he is the standard bearer of the ruling party. Members of some of his parties, they are all involved. Can someone pick up a phone to say, okay, there are two things. No matter what somebody did, we can't deal with it. If you want the speaker to be removed, he should work the phone lines and get off 3 or 4 person and go on the other side and let them reach the number and remove the speaker. Or else you tell the people, stand down, this speaker has been working with me, we need to get things done. But he is indecisive, trying to seek consultation from his legal counsel. Are you telling me that if God forbid, gun fires to Sierra Leone border as a commander-in-chief, you're going to go to people to see how the security of this nation should be done? That's what it looks like. How long should we come with this? ECOWAS coming is with his advice and consent. They're not going to come down there. It's because he's unable, or they are unable to reserve, and these things is adding up every day and every day and every day. It putting holes on a lot of the good things. He traveled extensively for foreign investment, for investors. Now, the people who are supposed to decide on those memorandum of understanding to have it been put into law so that the executive branch government can act, guess what? One group staying to Labasi, the other group staying to Busekwara, and who is the loser? Christmas holiday coming. It's literally to shut government down, and that's why it's happening. Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yes. Get it out of your chest.
Yes. Look, like I said, I'm mad. Like I eat the pepper behind the house. My hair is on fire. If you could have dragged the president of Republic of Liberia to make pronouncement on 25, 20, or 150 students that was supposed to come to the country, and it's a book or something, the Minister of Information came that the president had traveled around the world and he brings security and he's to come to find out it's a book or something, somebody need to be fired. And that's what the president need to do as soon as possible. We cannot allow this thing to be going on in our country. Why would we be scanning?
Can I make
Why would we be? How come, sir?
All right, finish it.
Why would we be scanning anything? Dad, you talk about it on the show here when the thing came out. And Terry and myself were on the other side. Why is it that we take $250 million They're $25 million and give it to people. And time to find out it's a book or something. I mean, I know time is very short, or hopefully we'll address it tomorrow. More information will come out, and this thing they need to be addressed. When it comes to the leadership, I agree with my brother, the chairman. I agree. The president needs to take the case to the Liberian people. This is where we are. He got to take a position, even if he's not supporting the end of the plan. But he has to go to the Liberian people and make a statement or address the nation. No, this is where we are. He need to inform the nation. I want to pass a budget. I want to put pressure on the representative. I want to pass a budget. I already want to send a budget, but because we are deadlocked, he have to say something to the nation. I agree with my brother dearly. It need to be done expeditiously too. It's not about what party you belong to, whether you belong to or the speaker or you belong to the majority group. But he have, as the president, he have to make a statement. Look, I want to pass the budget. But the people they're locked. Folks, Liberian people, you talk to your representative. Look, get out of this, get out of what is it? Get out of Bolivia. We got about 5 or 6 counties in the place. We got Bon County, we got Bomi County, we got Kima, we got Magibi, and we got what is it? Grand Bassa. There are 5 counties within that area that you can visit, or even Bon County. And take your message on the road. These people are the guys constituent. You take your message on the road. Go to the various county, nearby county. If you can't go to, in fact, Nima County is what 200, 150 miles, 158 miles, or some Monserrato. So you can take the day trips and sell an idea. This is what's going on. I pause. I'm pissed.
You pissed? Now you pissed? Now you pissed? This is another Iboma thing coming here. We supposed to be mad. Can't get pissed here. Please. You pissed. You're not pissed. You okay. Dr. Malice, Jerry back on say he pissed.
Yeah, it's quite astonishing to see the security analysts on fire tonight. Very astonishing, and I think he need to be giving some antibiotic to cool down his temperature.
Oh boy!
But this is what I just want to bring to the security analysts' attention. This is a mature government, as we were told. This is His Excellency, who comes from the background of high-earned experience, 40 years under his belt. This is His Excellency, where I have high regard for him for putting together a very mature team. And this is an administration that had die-hard fighting for him almost on all the platforms in the United States of America, including this platform. So my question now is, this government did not do its homework? That is being duped according to Daha? Really? This is quite astonishing. Where the team came from, what they saw before they were making all these spectacular announcements. Even the president came to address the nation. Then we've been told it's a scam. So my question now to Liberal and the security chief is this: is His Excellency in complete control of his government?
Let's Terry want to say something here. Let's hear the moderates. Let's hear the moderates.
That's my question. Is the Excellency in complete control of his government? Mr. Barco and
you will never answer that question. They will post spin on it. But Terry been laughing. Terry, why are you laughing for? Share the fun. Another Ibuma tap.
Dr. Male enjoy himself tonight. So, Mr. So, first of all, to the issue of this, Fonati thing, there is how long have you seen the ruling party in power and the speaker is an opposition in Liberia? When last you saw that? When last you saw the speaker? And you know, I like when you say, "Oh, the president don't know what he's doing. The president need to call. The president." No. What if this is mastermind by the president, and we're trying to hide it and act like we know what's going on? When last?
Terry, this is
Since
a
Liberia,
Terry, I beg you, this is a shocking one. So you seems to agree with me. Joseph Boycott on purpose took Fanatic Kofad, talking to John Pope, one of the holiest person, and pour a hand on him and say, hey, John Pope, pray for that man. By the time we get by, that'll be a political
And I know
meeting.
John will have for Benedict.
Okay, yeah, it can be John Benedict Emmanuel said. I don't care at this point in time. He took Kofad to Fanatic again, and Tom Moore broke up.
I told you before that the enemy of an enemy is my friend. And you start seeing the shifting.
Yes.
You saw Thomas Fala went over. Now Mo Ali. Now this other person. That one of the budget with me. So what I'm saying is that we should stop saying the president need to get in control of the country. The president need to do this. The president need to do that. The president is in charge. But this is how the president chooses to run it, because that is politics. Politics is a dirty game. And we come here and we know what's going on. Politics in Africa is a dirty game. It's not a fair play. The only thing they think Mr. Bacon is saying, up to now, we have not had no details. We can manspoon anything they say now, then we jump in, we running with 8 on our head with the Satuka running here at 2 days. What if tomorrow come and the story changes? So for me, I will not want to speak to that yet until the dust settles. But, you know, people bringing, they say, oh, the information is fake data. There are many fake things that are happening. We saw the bosses king.
Okay, right? There you go.
From the beginning of the president government. Where is it today? We see the how you call it, the trucks, there's something.
Point of information. What I'm saying here, I said, if this is happening, this is what I said. Go ahead. This is what I said, Mr. Terry. This is what I said. If this is true, then the president, somebody do the president. That's what I'm saying. If somebody, if this is true, that's what I said. I said, if this is true.
We have 2 minutes to go and want to keep within the confines of that time.
Let me just wrap up. Mr. Bacon.
Yeah, after Terry, the Liberal needs to answer that question before the show comes to an end tonight. And I want him to answer it with honesty for the good of the Liberian people. Terry, your point.
Yeah, Mr. Bacon, I'm not denying the fact that all those things need to go on, that the duping, all that. But we need to understand that that news is not yet settled. Don't take a face something and just run with it. But what I want to say is that, you know, you were saying, Mr. So, that the president called for Natikofa to what they planning. They got a song that says that Satan care me all around, he can't do me nothing. So you know what our pastor say, what you are doing that Satan care you all around. If Satan was able to care you all around, that means he already done something to you. So so I think to be serious, Mr. So, there is a master plan, political master plan. There are 2 major signs that confuses me up to now, that make me to believe that the president here is behind this mastermind. Number 1, the Unity Party
the president
have not said anything.
Hold on, Terry.
You know, for me, that people can. Or as I say, why you don't? That is how Terry can talk. I told you from the beginning, I'm not on no side. I'm not on I'm not on the majority black side. I'm not on the minority black side. My position for Honorable Kofa is that because what is at hand is bigger than him. If I were him, I would resign. Simple. When last you saw the ruling party, the ruling party. When last you saw the ruling party in Liberia president, then you saw an opposition party sustain the speakership position in Liberia. Common sense will tell you. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. Honorable Kofa is fighting a losing battle.
Terry, quickly here. Don't let your cholesterol go up. Did I hear you saying the president had inside from all indication?
Mr. So, I only say my feeling with it. Any kind of way that people want to carry that a business. Up to now, Unity Party have not spoken. Unity Party have not given a statement. You see the kind of crisis in the country. You are the ruling party. The ruling party. You have not said anything. You have not called no press conference. You have not addressed anything. Then you telling me say you don't know about what's going on. You expect me to believe that? I don't believe it.
So let's see what let's see.
That's why I told you from the beginning of the show, Mr. So, that I'm surprised.
Okay, so you've been surprised. Let's see whether the Liberal will believe that too. But Dr. Mali did ask a question. Can we just use 1 minute and 1 minute each and wrap it up before we can go? The Liberal, you want to answer Dr. Mali's question?
What was this question?
Oh. You didn't hear it?
I usually do not pay attention to ridiculous statement coming from Dr. Mali most of the time. So if you can help me to remind me about his question, then perhaps I can help you. Other than that, let me make my closing and get out of here.
This is not a good night. Dr. Mali, we should let him go, right?
Yeah, for the sake of putting his temperature under control, I'd let you go.
Okay.
Mr. So and fellow panelists and the audience as well, before I leave again tonight, let me just say this. Liberia is all we have. Those of us that are still connected, Liberia is all we have. And so when we come here to discuss Liberia issue, these are times that you find it difficult to divulge emotions. Emotion will always be part of the conversation. So who am I to say somebody need to perhaps be mindful of discussion at hand? The way you discuss it is how you feel and you express yourself. And that's what the platform is good for. Let me just say this here, Mr. So. The President of the Republic of Liberia, despite all that you believe and whoever is believing, including my own little brother Terry, President Baka has nothing to do with what is happening at the Capitol. What is happening at the Capitol, it is the doing of the people at the Capitol. They truly believe, perhaps, that Speaker Kofa does not have what it takes to lead them. And that's their right. They're entitled to it. The Constitution provides for that. Now, so I'm not going to speak much on that. All I can say is that Speaker Kofa needs to stand fast and resist and stand for the Constitution. This is the boat. If we're going to drown, let's all drown in it. If the people who's supposed to paddle so that the boat can move from one point to another, they're going to be holding their paddle in their hand, don't want to give it to other people to paddle this boat, and they're going to be drinking on the boat and holding their paddle in their hands. While we want to paddle the boat standing there, then let's drown. Whatever God say. Mr. So before I leave you, let me just say this.
No, you can't just close and leave. Listen to your friends. I don't want to be the one to.
Okay, let me close on this.
Okay.
Let me close on this, Mr. So. The fact that these brothers and sisters that the president have asked to help are not doing a good job. These stories that are coming in from Liberia, they are shameful, and they just indicate to me they have nothing to offer. And because of that, anywhere you go to work, if you have nothing to offer, anytime you go to any company and they say, oh, the guy can talk, blah, 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 when you check behind, he can't do nothing. What people say, we the footballer, good player don't suffer for Jesse.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mr. Bacon, what's your final word?
Yes.
You still mad?
Of course I'm mad. My hair is on fire. My head is on fire. I don't eat pepper, but I think I ate pepper this evening. I'm mad. I mean, the president of Republic of Liberia. I mean, this is over again. Recovery, misled the president. Recovery, misled the president. Okay, bosses, misled the president. Thank God he didn't come downstairs that day. Yellow machine, misled the president. Now we hearing another allegation. The allegation after allegation. And these are the people who bring the president in the upfront. That's the last thing you want to do to bring the president when you are serving the president. That's the last thing. Make sure that you dye all your I and T before you put the president out there. The minister can do it, the director can do it. But every now and then they just drag Mr. President over there. It's about time the president said stand up and say, you know what? Somebody need to be responsible. Somebody need to be fired. Like my brother Tor said, there are people who are willing to say with a dignity and responsibility, who are willing to take these challenges. But some of these people who went there with just to seek their own gravy. And it is wrong. It's our country. Even though we can be in America today, we get bread and butter we can eat. But you know what? Our country, even if we go somewhere, you myself go somewhere. Oh, yeah. Oh, you get a cool accent. Where you from? Or no, originally where you from? They always want to identify who you are. So it is about time that this thing that coming up, they allege about this scam over the 250 students. People call today. And I pray that it is not true. But it is true. It's misleading the president. They are degrading the president of the Republic of Liberia. It's not nice. It's unbearable. Someone will for half of the president to be in power. And I think about time someone will start taking a hard stand. Thank you.
Oh, I will do you a favor tonight. I have 800 milligram extra strength Tylenol. I will drop it to your house tonight. Don't sleep, okay? When I get there, I will call you.
Thank you, sir.
Terry, you made a closing already? Was that your closing? No. I think we'll get a closing.
It could be, but okay, but yeah.
Terry is
for the issue. You won't cause problem on the show tonight. Yeah, Mr. So, President Boca, for me, I got on the train by divine revelation. And I believe President Boca will still do better for Liberia because I'm hopeful. This is the first year, and we have seen his leadership. We know the kind of person he is. Right now, the president is taking some steps, and the steps seems to be good, in the good direction. He's firing some people. He's suspending some people. But if this information is true, like what Mr. Bacon is saying, I think it's not a good thing. Some people need to be fired. I will not blame the information minister because the information minister was giving information and he reported it. The only thing is that I don't know if they don't have somebody to do research, somebody to check behind stuff for them. I don't know. But I think the president needs to do a strategic reshuffling of the government. But for the issue of the Fonati Kofa situation, it is political. And it's just political. And I think the president knows exactly what's going on, what is at stake. That is why his party refused to speak on the matter. And he refused to get involved. He could have gotten involved, like I said the last time, if it was a unity partisan that was the speaker. The president was definitely going to get involved. He will make some calls. By now, things will have been shifting. But he will not do it because it is in the interest of the president. Thank you very much.
Okay, Chairman Lato, this is a complete surrender here this evening. The Liberal is on his forehead. Jerry Bacon has developed artificial toe egg and all of that, and all of that. It's quite understandable. And this is what we want to do. We should hold people accountable in as much as we support. Let's hear you. What is the hope that is ahead of us?
Well, I want to say, thank you for the evening and my fellow panelists. And I think we've come to a very great conclusion tonight that everyone has a point. I think the moral versus legal argument you know, Speaker Kofod's resignation or not, it's above and beyond him. I think he needs to understand he's lost the moral battle. He needs to understand that morally he cannot lead his people. They've got no confidence in him. He has to do the right thing. This is not a coup from outside; it's from within, if you will, if you want to call it a coup. I would differ slightly with the fact that the president has any know about this being political, because if we can have all these missteps, I don't know if they have the gravitas to carry on such elaborate, you know, scheme, especially talking about this $25 million, you know, Ponzi scheme that these people came up with, you know, for students. I think I know the president. I've interacted with the man before. He's a great, honorable man, and I think Mr. Toh said it well. He needs help. He needs help. He needs help. He needs help. You know, Jones. I mean, Dr. Mali talked about, you know, he prefaced his statement with talking about the president when he's running for office. People say, you know, talk about 40-something years of experience and all of that. Granted, he still needs help. Trust me, he needs a lot of help, and he knows that. Trust me, he knows that. I can tell you firsthand that he knows that. And we need to find people to be around him who are able to help and move the country ahead. What I do know, on the other hand, is the fact that there's a lot of internal wrangling of people positioning themselves for 2029, and I think it's too far away. That we can't help our country now and do you know, help strategically structure the country for all these different things. And so I think we need to do a better job. I think, and I will call on the president and his handlers to have him speak up, at least address the public. We're about to enter the holiday season. In fact, we're already in the holiday season. If this continues, folks will not get paid, the budget would not be passed, and a slew of other things will happen. He needs to take a stand. He needs to take a stand. He needs to take a stand. He has to exercise leadership in this endeavor as soon as possible. I mean, we have a saying, better late than never. I think he needs to do that. I think he needs to address, he needs to talk to people. He needs to start like active engagement with the folks in the legislature. And so that's what I will come up with. Yeah.
That's what I'll come with. Dr. Madit, what you have done tonight, you deliberately on purpose put a bone in the throat of the liberals. And
1 minute, Dr. Madit, 1 minute on it.
Deny. Deny.
No, I'm not asking for time. I'm giving him time. 1 minute.
Oh, you give it Dr. Or you give somebody time when you're not in charge. Why are you against Dr. Mali? Dr. Mali, I think these guys tonight, what you have done, we are dispositioned them and we have exposed them of their false argument on this line here. Let's send on. By the way, before Dr. Mali goes, coming soon on Lpr, Labor Public Radio and Big FM, our areas, we will be sharing news content. Meaning, very soon, as soon we finalize, we will find the suitable time slot for the relay inside Liberia. That everything is received, we just need to and we'll see what happens. So that's Dr. Mali?
Yeah, I think all the panelists make a very valid point. But the only thing I want to take home tonight is that the Liberian people are watching the drama. And the president going to speak to the Liberian people, I don't know what is going to help. I think the people looking for action. The Liberian people, it's action they are waiting for. Action that will be transformed into something that will land on their dining room table. I think this is what the people really want to see right now. But then the question now is, the longer this thing stay, it's like it appears if it stay affect the speaker, the longer it stay. That's what I notice here. You see? So I think it will be a very good thing, as I said, the house is draining. I agree with the speaker 100%. There's a need to hold on to rule of law. There's a need to defend the Constitution. There's a need to protect our country when it comes from the legal aspect. But equally so, when the house is burning down, you have to invoke common sense. Why is true? All these things are necessary. You need to look at common sense. Should we keep holding fast to all these things while the horse is drowning? That's the question we need to think about as we leave the platform tonight. And lastly, I want to believe strongly that it might backfire on His Excellency. Christmas is coming, like the chairman said, and nothing is happening. They're going to focus on him. He's the head of the team. Yes, maybe more pressure going to be on the executive mansion. And I can see that pressure coming on him. You see? So I strongly believe Kofa is on to this country, and he needs to see common sense. Like Terry said, Snow, it was Her Excellency Salif pressurized Snow to step down. After 5,000 were distributed, he decided to go the Taiwanese way. Helen said, no, we got to go the Chinese way. And he said, no, he was a speaker. So Helen said, okay. Then they started to let the miracle fall in the house. That it was 5,000 each. You see? So the question now is, Onati is fighting a very good fight, but the country is drowning right now. So if he have any future ambition to run, to be politically experienced, it would be good for him to just step down and focus on his 2029, because it doesn't look good for him right now. And oh God, they are holding their ground. So it's like it's cat and dog thing going on now. Kofa is buying time to see how many people would defect in front of God camp to come to his camp so that he can get it 49. Those guys too, they are there playing their game to see how many people they will continue to get from his camp. So it's like they're all buying time, you see, but it doesn't augur well for the country. I don't support it, but it doesn't augur well for the country. And lastly, with the issue of the president, the government being duped, I think
how many lastly we're gonna have?
Yeah, I think I will agree. I'm being interrupted, please. I think I will agree with the chair, with Chairman Latro. His Excellency need help, but the help will have to come from patriotic minds. But who are the patriotic minds? Thank you.
Okay, well, folks, we want to say thank you very much. Yet, Jerry back on to the Liberal Progressive, Chairman Latrot, of course, Jerry Collins, and all our viewers and listeners. We say thank you for being part of today's program. Join the Liberal tomorrow. He will be here with his, but I'm not sure because they are having a severe headache tonight. But I will do, what's his name? Jerry back on a favor. I will drop some Tylenol, ibuprofen, and whatever to cool his temperature. Folks, we want to thank you so much. That's how we're going to end this event. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Again, coming soon, LPR and Big FM Liberia. 103.9 will start sharing news content, meaning there will be a relay of our programs. We're trying to work out a suitable time frame, but the arrangement is already in process. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.